I'm sitting here thinking about emotions and what they do and the up and down on the whole before a football game. You'll watch some sick child and then, you're watching this game. The emotions are all over the place. And I'm sitting here thinking about it. I'm thinking, I need to do like a video on that. And the phone rings. And it's a number I don't recognize, but it looks kind of local. So I go, all right, I pick it up. And it's this real sweet, nice voice chit-chatting away about how she works for some resort and, you know, they're giving away this stuff and everything. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, it is her job. And a couple of times I just sit there, put the phone down, let them talk. Figure that's what they do. I'm assuming they make money for that, right? Because I was tired of just getting the call and hanging up. So this time, and I've always done that. And then there's one time, probably the last time, I just let them talk. And then after a while, I realized, I just don't have the time to do that. Well, this call comes in, and I'm just like, I said, no, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. And she kept going. She just kept, and I was like, I said, all right, I put the phone down. And then I hear, so is it okay if I, da, 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 da? And I said, no, thank you. And I hung up. I was upset. I wasn't upset. I felt bad. I felt bad for hanging up on this person. I'm like, yeah, no matter where you turn, it's like you have to be in control of your emotions. You need to, I don't know, you need to be careful. And that brings me to when I experienced the star, right right before I experienced the stars coming at me and that whole thing. My emotions were off the chart as far as I had some sort of epiphany that, all of a sudden I wasn't sure if we lived on a flying sphere. I it was like I knew, I felt like it couldn't be proven, and I was sure of it. But I was also sure that you couldn't prove to me it was flat or a realm or concave, I think is one of the things I glanced at back then. Um, you can't really straight out prove any of it to me. So anyway, that was the emotion I had. It was like, wow, the whole globe thing. It hit me, and I realized there's something more to that. It's not going to end there. So I got very, very excited. And then I experienced the star situation. It was like in succession. I'd say it was the accident, and then a few weeks later. Was it a few weeks later? It may have been a month later. Was the orbs, and 2 or 3 weeks after that was the stars. And the Mandela effects just really popped me in August. I was affected, but I was blowing them off. Or I was seriously convincing myself that I wasn't sure until I came across, after that, the star experience, all of August. That's all I did. I was just Mandela effecting out, and along that time, I just wanted a normal life again. Was it then? No, hold on. It was before then. It was in July where I put the ball down, or went back to the ball, is what I did. I just started going to work normal and everything was peachy keen. But I actually consciously walked around thinking, hey, we live on a globe, which I've never done before. You know, I mean, that that just seems silly in itself right there. But after about a week, maybe two, I was just so depressed. July 2015. Just walking around depressed, and I didn't know why. I jumped on YouTube and I came across a flat Earth video, and boom, right back into it. Couldn't believe that I went back. I felt great again. I mean, these things are fantastic. That's when things really started to move. But in August, it was all just Mandela effects and picking one up. And if I wasn't sure, I said I wasn't sure, but that it looked different. That was always a thing I would say. And that was just to myself. I had nobody to talk to. I had nowhere to go. I was going on YouTube, but for Mandela effects, no, still maybe 10, 20 videos at this point, maybe. September 2015. That's when I discovered MandelaEffect.com. Started interacting with those people. But it was the emotions that I had during those experiences and right before the experiences that I think helped triggered them. Because when I go out to create now and I say, all right, what do I want? That's the first thing. What do I really want? You know, and I'm really breaking it down now because now it's just a thought and I kind of let it all just go. And I know right away if it's going to work or not. But first, you really need to know what you want because for years, I thought I knew what I wanted. And even if I was creating properly, it wasn't going to happen the way I wanted it because it's not really what I wanted. I did not line my desires up with my heart. But this phone call just threw me for a loop because my emotions sunk so low. And I'm like, wait a minute, I've been in a great mood. I do not need that. I don't want that. Why? Why did that all happen? Um, you know, and I don't want to say be cold. You know, if somebody needs help and you can help them, help them. Don't let the emotions get involved. They don't have to. Once you let the emotions get involved, you're giving away your power. And I'm talking this out now. I'm just starting to understand this. But I think that's one of the main ingredients, if I can put it as ingredients, of creating, manifesting your desire. Because your heart is correct. When you desire something with your heart, I'll tell you now, it doesn't mean your desire is going to happen just because you line it up with your heart. But at least you'd be on the right path. But it truly has to be from your heart. Because if you're raising your vibration, your heart is cooking, man, it's boom. And you get this involved, that's when you're going to pollute it. You need to think properly, you need to think right. Whatever that is for you, you get the correct thinking down, and you can line that correct thinking desire with your heart. How do you release that energy? Well, for me, I'll lay down and close my eyes. Some people call it meditating. I don't call this meditating, but it is a form of meditating, I suppose. But I'm just laying down and I'm imagining the desire as it is, as it's happening. As an example, I can feel my sand in the feet. Feel my sand in the feet. I can feel my feet in the sand. In this timeline, the second one makes more sense. I can feel the wind. I can hear the ocean. That's just an example, but I'm laying there and I can feel it. After that, I'll say it out loud. I'll decree it. I'll decree it a thing. At least 3 times, and with meaning, with feeling, with emotion. And then I'm letting it go. And letting it go to me was one of the hardest things I had to get through to understand. But if I don't get through that letting go part, it doesn't happen. This is a point where I'll realize, I did it wrong. I missed something. It's a learning process, and it's not that intricate. I make it that intricate. There's no other way I can explain it, because when I do actually do things and create it, I really can't explain it, because these things I'm talking about, I don't necessarily do anymore. These are the things I did a year ago, February, when I started this. And letting go is not, it was the last thing, but now it's not. The last thing is not to tell anybody, not to talk about it, not even to talk to yourself about it. You need to forget about it. That's part of the letting go. Telling somebody, hey, I'm creating this. Number one, it's not letting go. And number two, it's not part of the process. It's not part of what you need to be doing. Once other people get involved in what you're doing, their thoughts go out and pollute what you're doing and probably block it and everything else. Just a guess, but at this point now, a lot of those things I just explained, I'll just feel and meditate on it. And when I'm walking around, I'll say it out loud, whatever. And then I go on to the next thing. That's how I let go, by moving on to the next thing. For the longest time, I felt like I was being very cold to people. Somebody's down and out. I'd go over, give them $1, keep going. God bless you. Thank you. No, buddy, just take the $1. Because with all that comes emotion. And I don't mind if it's somebody I want to share my emotions with, or exchange emotions with. That's fine. But the news, spectator sports, computer games, all these things take your emotions. Don't even ask. They take your emotions and twist them, bounce them up and down, throw them against the wall. And because they're your emotions, and this is your distraction that you just chose to be distracted by, which is fine. I do it all the time. Well, not all the time now, but YouTube is a form of distraction. So I'll get on YouTube and I'm listening to somebody that's saying something pretty interesting, and I think this is okay. In a sense, it is, because at least I'm feeding my mind information that is going to help me, or at least I feel so. But jumping on and listening to garbage, this is what you're doing to yourself. It's like they're taking those emotions and then they ship them on back to you all destroyed. You don't know if you're happy, sad, or angry. And it doesn't even matter what's going on in your head at that point, because it's in your body. It's a vibration. It's an energy. It's flowing through you. And you'll watch these things and do it. And I've sat down and watched movies knowing that it's a program. And I'm getting a program, I'm sure. So because I know that, I'm not accepting it. And, it, I'm just looking for the signs, or I'm looking for something, a symbol, because I know what they're putting in these things. And also, you're not doing yourself any favors. When you're playing a computer game and you know that it's just programming and you're distracting yourself, you're not doing yourself any favors. Uh, Everything seems to be geared towards or built around dumbing your emotions down so that you don't have control over them. And I'd say it's fairly easy to take control of your emotions. Just do it a couple of times. Get your head out of the way. Uh, your head will get out of your own way. Your head will get in the way. Just go for your heart, and I am trying everything I can. I don't know. I've tried everything over and over and over again. I'm going to get it right this time. And here we go. Take 37. Um, First, I'll apologize for missing Take 38. I'm going to apologize for missing my own show Wednesday. Wednesday morning, 2 a.m. Yeah, it's a busy day for me. I worked on my day off. I spoke with the publisher. I had a lot of things going on with the book. I wouldn't have really been alert for the shows, and things weren't working out with the microphones and everything else, so I just figured out I'm not supposed to do it. Let me put it off. But this show coming up, Wednesday, 2 a.m., the 28th. I have Sean Indigo coming on. We talked. We're going to do a little chat for a couple hours. I hope we're going to talk about the event. I have so many questions, and I've seen a few videos. I've seen everything from everyone's going to see it at the same time, and you're not going to be able to deny it, to it's just fear mongering. And I don't agree with it being fear mongering. I think this is something that could be taking our emotions, and we're getting excited and waiting again. It just seems like something we do. I've heard about this. I've read about it since the '80s. So, and different terminology too. I mean, I remember photon belt and a bunch of things. I don't know. It's Bill Cooper, Vladimir Valerian information. But what they're saying now, I'm interested in. I'm for it. I suppose it's going to be a change. I love the different things I'm hearing, and it's coming from different sources, from what I'm seeing as well. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, Sean will have a chat about that. But this video is mainly for me to get out some old videos that I put together last December and January, and I just want to get them off the board here. They should have been posted back then. The content's still good. One of them is about the blue moons, which we're having another one next week, the 31st, Saturday. And I've checked that because the one in March changed on me, so I've double and triple checked that. It is Saturday, the 31st, and we'll have our second blue moon of the year. And I've said it before, I think full moons, probably more so blue moons, blood moons, whatever, super moons, have some sort of energy to them in September and March. That's what it seems like, and it's a good time to get right and shift into timeline, dimension, consciousness, reality you want, you desire. And I think that can be anything depending on what you feel in your heart and believe. I mean, what you focus on with your heart. I don't care what it is. I don't care what they're doing outside, okay, out there. It's about your focus and what's in your perception. And if you're going to let them come in and be in your perception, then that's what you're going to experience, and there's no way to get around it. Most of us, including myself, have been so indoctrinated with a lot of that stuff that, yeah, a lot of that's in motion. And now that we're actually creating, whether we realize it or not, that some of that stuff might come into play. It's just depending on where you want to go, where you want to be, because I'm quite sure you can just shift in and out. I'm not saying I'm doing it. Sometimes I think I do. I think it's that easy. I don't mean to be flip about it, but I've felt so many negative things starting to come my way that I just push them away and they're gone. It's not my focus anymore. And if something happens and it goes down, it's because I put those things in motion in the past, and they're coming to fruition. Because I'm actually experiencing things now in my life that I desired in the past, that I don't necessarily desire now, but I'm experiencing them. The creativeness in all of us, that's what we're supposed to be doing. I'm quite sure of it. I mean, do I know? No. Do I have a patent on it? No. I got theories, but I'm sticking with it. I'm going to speak plainly. There are quite a few theories out there, and there could be a bunch of them mixed in together. But I do feel that we have some sort of control, or we have some ability that we can use the energy and shift into what we more want and what we desire. I don't feel or believe that it's, I'm sitting around waiting, because that's all we seem to be doing is sitting around waiting. Now we're all sitting around waiting for the event. No, you got to put it into action. It's about you. It's about you. It's got to be about you first, and you have to get right with your mind and your heart and line everything up, because if you want to create as a collective, if we want to create as a collective, you got to know how to do it individually, and it's your thoughts are involved, thinking right, acting right, how you interact with other people, because it really doesn't matter if we're all in other dimensions, living on a ball or a triangle or shifting in and out of timelines. It doesn't matter. What matters is how you interact with other people. But when it comes down to it, I sit here and I break everything down. The analyst in me, it's like I break every single thing down to the point where, okay, yeah, this is what I think's going on. I think our consciousness is shifting through timelines. I think we're experiencing multiple dimensions. I think we can use that. I think we can use it to our advantage. That's where my focus is. That's what I'm going to experience. If you're focusing on what's going on TV, and I finally got the mic right and I keep hitting it. It's what you're going to experience. There's no way to get around it. Well, I want to be informed. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think you have to be informed. I mean, if you want to, go ahead. So, I went off here, didn't I? Well, looking forward to Wednesday's show. Minute is Mountain Time, 4 a.m. Eastern. And I believe that would be 1 Pacific. All right, now I'm going to put these, string all these videos together for you. enjoy. Keep in mind they were from December and January. Peace out. What was I saying? I was like this call sign thing. Like stay serene and shift on. No, stay focused and shift on. I think that's what it was. Who knows? Enjoy. You guys, a little bit of this beautiful day. Driving straight through the center of the Rocky Mountains. There's I would say big Mandela effect that I've come across. I believe I heard it on Hidden Knowledge's channel about the liver being in 2 parts. I just thought that was. I looked at some pictures and yeah, it's there. It's 2 parts. I don't remember it being that way. I remember it just being. It's about, what's in your perception. I know we're all connected. I know I am part of the whole. I know the whole world, whatever it is, I'm part of the collective. But from my perspective, what I've been seeing is, okay, these background people, they may exist just in a timeline so far off removed that they're background people. Doesn't mean they're not real. Maybe it means they will ascend or go through the event or whatever it is we've been going through at another time. It's quantum. I mean, in some form, in some way, it's quantum. Multidimensional beings. So yes, I do understand that I am part of the whole, and the things that are going on out there matter, but it's all really in here. It's all really inside. Yeah, I really feel like I need to elaborate on that before I go on to these videos that I really like you to see. Everything's going on inside you. So you're watching TV, you're saying, okay, just entertainment. That's what's going on outside. First off, it's an act. It's not real. You're watching a fictional movie. You're watching Star Trek. That's the same thing as watching TV. It's an act. It's, to get your adrenaline pumped up, to get your emotions going, to control your emotions. So you don't have control over your emotions. I'd say distract yourself, entertain yourself some other way. Write a book, do a video, start a YouTube radio thing. It's like, what did I do? Where was I? Oh, what's nice about this? I can pause. What I'm saying is, if you're making it about your perception and the people around you and how you interact around them, we can create a more peaceful, happy, loving, plain planet, existence, reality, realm. If we're all staying within ourselves and being who we want to be through our heart. Let me get to these videos now. I've said enough for now. Enjoy. Again. Something I really wish I added on to the last video, and I'm going to sit here with an editing program and try and put all this together. January, we have a blue moon, which is 2 full moons in a month. This year, 2018, we have a blue moon in January, which means we already had a full moon, and we're going to have another one on the 31st. Now, I really seriously recommend at least 3 days, probably 4. Get rid of all your habits for a while. Cleanse. No release of sexual energy. Don't eat meat because it's putting bad energy in your body. I ain't saying don't eat meat. Be careful of the energy you're putting in your body. That's what I'm going to say. All your habits, just chill out on them for a while. I'd say 3 days minimum before the full moon, and a couple days after, whatever. I think something's with the full moon thing as far as shifting and changing. Something's with September full moons, October full moons, and also now here's the thing with this calendar: January we have 2 full moons. February we will have no full moon in February, and another blue moon in March. March 1st and 31st, I believe. January 1st and 31st, March 1st and 31st. 4 full moons in 3 months, and none in February. Found that interesting. Wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, I don't know. St. Pink Water. What's up, bro? What? Come on.
No way. No way.
Why are they changing vowels?
Nobody changed vowels. You shifted in. Right, he's got it. This guy just met him. He's got it. He's like, you didn't die. You just shifted into a timeline that you branched off of.
That's some crazy shit.
Crazy shit's going to be going home looking at the books where it says staying.
Oh shit! Really, you hit that tree in one.
I was up on 2 wheels in, I don't know, the 80s, 90s, something like that. Came back down, and I was like, I don't know how I survived that. I don't know how that happened.
Dude, I tried.
Divine intervention, I figured.
Yeah. There's something in the program that doesn't allow it.
Some programming doesn't allow it. What do you know? You keep trying to forget about this stuff. What do you know? Tell me, what happened? So what happened? You didn't try and kill yourself, obviously.
A couple times.
Okay, but it's not going to happen. You already know that.
It doesn't work.
No,
There's something in the program that doesn't allow it.
So he's saying in the programming, because we could be just shifting to another program, not another timeline. It could.
It's a form of speech.
Exactly. It's all. Have no idea what I'm talking about because I'm just using terms like timeline, dimension, reality, realm, malleable. It's all the same.
Subjective reality. The shifts.
That's it. He's like, what's going on, man? I just came in for a beer.
Seriously, I walked outside the shirt. I was like, oh shit.
Poor guy's trying to forget about the Mandela effect. Every time he gets involved in it, tries to forget about it, and he comes in here and sees the shirt, right? That's too funny, man.
Yeah, of all places, man. Not a lot of people know what the fuck that is.
Yeah? And what have you learned?
I mean, what it is. The very St. Bears thing, man, that was the first thing. I saw as a kid reading this book, so I know. That's
Wow, we wrote on the wrong day.
The Mandela thing that it's named after, I never had an issue with. I always knew Mandela got out of prison.
So what was the one that really smacked you in the face?
The Bernstein Bears one was what opened me up to it and started reading about it.
Yeah.
That's the one I remember the best. And I started reading about it and I was like, oh man.
First thing for me was I was in Mississippi and I was looking at Jiffy and Skippy on the shelf. I was single, living by myself. And I was sitting there just trying to figure out which peanut butter I wanted and why wasn't somebody getting sued?
Yeah.
Jiffy and Skippy. Why isn't somebody getting sued?
Yeah.
And then I went home and they were talking about how Jiffy never existed. I said, oh, bull
What do you mean
crap.
Jiffy never existed?
Jiffy peanut butter never existed.
No shit. Are you fucking shitting me?
I swear to
Are you
God.
fucking shitting me?
I'm not shitting you,
No,
dude.
dude.
Jiffy peanut butter. Jif exists. Skippy exists, but Jiffy never existed. I ate it my whole life.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, you freaking me out. You don't know about that? Oh, because you stayed away from
I
it.
still think that Jiffy exists.
Yeah, I just shifted you in the timeline.